Hey guys, this is Kenny from the Level With You channel. Just here to let you guys know if you guys want to come chat with us, we got a Discord server up and running. Link is in the description below. You could give us some feedback, ask us questions, just interact with us, or in general. You can also find us on social media platforms. Instagram, we're LVL With You. Twitter, we're Level With You. And on Facebook, you can search Level With You. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Stay level.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to the Level With You show. It is a weekly video game podcast where the four of us all get together and talk about, you guessed it, video games. Today I am joined by Anthony Duart.
How's it going?
Kenny Castro.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
And you can't see him, but you'll be able to hear him, Tyler Hadley.
Hey, everybody.
All right, so we are enjoying a maybe day off, maybe not a day off. It is Columbus Day / Indigenous Peoples Day, whichever way you swing. And I didn't have to work. Did you guys have to work?
Oh, yeah.
No, I was hanging out at home.
No
Cool.
work for me.
Nice.
Womp womp.
Did you only work a half day, Anthony?
No, I worked till 2. But then I was like, I have to go to the doctor's, and I left early. So
How'd that go? Everything okay?
yeah, it's fine. I didn't even go to the doctor's. I lied.
Oh.
I just used 2 hours of sick time. I was like, I don't really want to stay past 2 today.
No, hopefully your boss doesn't watch the podcast.
She didn't even come in today either. She emailed me this morning and was just like, my daughter is sick or not feeling well, which is not true because I FaceTimed her because I couldn't find files on her computer, and her daughter was sitting there going, Anthony, look at my dog. Look at the dog that I have. Look at my dog. Hey, look at the dog. Look.
All right. Busted.
It's all,
Yeah.
it's all about the
Yeah.
paper trail.
Oh, yeah. But I was like, it's fine. I'm like, she wouldn't care. I told her, too. I was like, I have a doctor's appointment at 2. I'm going to be leaving early today. She goes, okay. It's like, perfect.
Could have saved the video, shown it to the big boss, taking her job.
Yeah, it's exactly. No, that's okay. I like
You
to
can
be
be
my boss.
sick and like your dog.
Yeah, exactly. It's very
true.
true. You can be sick and like your dog. That is very
Yeah,
true.
yeah. So it's been a long weekend. You do anything fun, Kenny?
Yeah, actually, we went pumpkin picking at Randall's Farm, I think, in Ludlow.
Nice.
That was my first time going.
That's
So
right
is that
by my
you pay a
house.
flat fee and then you get as many pumpkins as you can fit in the box?
No.
No?
So you pay for a ticket.
PPP, price per pumpkin?
Man, it's like per pound.
Price per pound per
Oh.
pumpkin.
Yeah, but it's pretty cheap. It's like depending on which type of pumpkin you're getting, like 49 cents for I think the sugar pumpkins per pound.
What constitutes like a good pumpkin? Like it's full-bodied, no green.
Honestly, I don't know. I like the ones with the warts on them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
the one's a little scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you start messing with them and you're like, oh, nice, all these warts all over it, you could turn it into like a thing, like the thing from the swamp. You know. But I'm not
Swamp Thing.
artistic, so I'm not good at.
So how many pumpkins did you get?
Well, the fiance, she bought like 8 pumpkins.
Nice.
I was stuck in the face painting line with my son because he wanted to get a face painted, and they only had one face painter for a place that was jam packed with over 100 people.
I was understaffed.
So I was super frustrated. Lady in front of me had 2 savage, vicious kids.
Oh God.
Like were growling and making noises. Weren't even using words to communicate.
Like to the people painting their
one
face?
kicked me, and I just looked at him. I was like, I will murder you. Don't touch me again.
So do you guys get the pumpkins just to like decorate around the house, or do you kind of get them more like for the kids to carve and for them to have the experience? Because like I suck at decorating, so I don't really decorate around the holidays. But I know other people love decorating.
You put a pumpkin here, you put a pumpkin there, you decorate it.
Honestly,
Yeah, I guess.
That's what I thought for years.
honestly, we suck at decorating as well. So we get the pumpkins for the kids, so they could go to town and do whatever they want with it. We're both not artistic like that, so
I mean, did they carve them?
yeah, they did it today right before we came here.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so they carved away. My son did some creepy shit on his, like, you will die type stuff. I was like, and he was laughing, like, I was like, Jesus, kid.
Hey, better on the pumpkin than something else.
Right.
Just let it out. Express yourself, boy.
Listen, I think it might have been a mistake. Me and him had just seen the first episode of Demon Slayer on last night, so I think it carried over into today. That was like the goriest anime he's watched so far.
Demon Slayer. That's when I said I started watching, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right.
I think the first episode's too bad. The most
not.
gore you see is like in the aftermath, right?
Right at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, but still, like that amount of blood is the most he's
That's a lot of
seen
blood.
in a cartoon show in forever.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So what about you, Anthony?
I hung out with you guys on Saturday.
You did.
I did.
Came over. We played some Mortal Kombat. Played some Super Smash.
Played Dive Kick for the first time.
Dive Kick
That
was a
lot
lot of fun.
Yes. Dive kick.
I loved that game. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So Dive Kick is a game where there's only 2 buttons that do anything. One's jump and one is kick/dive. So it's just like the ultimate footsies fighting game where you're just judging what the other player is going to do as far as jumping in, as far as doing a quick jump and a kick so that they only go up in the air a little bit. It's a one-hit KO for every move, and it's like 1st to 6 or 5 per round. So it can go all the way up to like 10 rounds. But it's super fast-paced. Anybody can...
Roundy Riven. I remember that. 'Cause we went to round 11.
There was a round 11.
Roundy Riven.
I'm not sure how that sounded.
The narrate. I think there was like a draw, like double KOs a few
Oh,
times.
okay. Is that what it was?
And that's how you got up to 11.
Nice.
But yeah, the narration in that game is
It's
so
great.
funny. Whoever voiced it.
It's a big parody of itself. I like the guy in the footsie pajamas with the little neck pillow. He's like, hey, sorry. Hey, guys. Because no matter what he was doing, he would always be like, hey, oh, okay.
Yeah, the character selects are also hilarious. Whenever you just press X on somebody, they're, I can't think of the...
Uncle Sensei,
Uncle
he has the boots, those camo boots for the hands. So he always, when he jumps, he has to like handstand, and he like just flips pretty much.
Yeah, he was like my favorite when we were playing.
He's awesome. It was a good
So
time.
that's cool. Yeah, we did that. The next day, Tyler and I met up and went to the Fall Festival where I procured this little bad boy. It's a water canteen.
And they're gonna carry it wherever you go.
Yeah, now it's being
gonna bring it to work.
You paid $10 and you could fill a random box filled with like a bunch of shit.
Junk.
Bunch of junk. Like I was literally walking through it, spending 15 minutes at a time, saying, "Nope, I don't want that. There's nothing here I want." Eventually, I found a couple mugs that I was like, "Sure," and then this, and then I threw them in Tyler's box. So
Yeah, this was like
he
the
had plenty
pumpkins.
of room left.
Oh yeah.
You didn't find a lot of stuff?
I mean, I got some stuff. I got.
I did find a cat carrier. I just remembered.
Yeah, you
There
got
you go.
a carrier.
Yeah.
I got like a little like ice chest over
Oh, yeah, the
over
little-
by the bar. I got some more of those canteen things. I got some silverware because I have silverware, but I only
always
have,
good to have more.
I only have like 4 or 5 like regular size like steak forks. So I got more big forks.
There you go.
I got some steins because
Ooh.
I didn't have any steins. Like
can never go wrong
it
with
was
a
like
stein.
it's like a lidded stein.
A lidded one.
Yes. Can't go wrong with
Those
those.
are the official. We also got a potato pizza.
Oh yeah, that
Ooh.
pizza was so good.
That was really good. So it's like sliced red potatoes, like kind of made in pepperoni shaped, like imagine a thick pepperoni. Blue cheese,
Bacon.
broccoli. Very good.
Oh, yeah, pizza sounds so good.
I did miss the red sauce a little, just like Elena, my wife, is always like, "It doesn't have red sauce. It's not pizza."
Yeah, I don't believe that. Pizza's pizza.
Yeah, it was really
Bread.
good. It was really good.
I always throw like a bag of chips on my pizza whenever I go to the pizza shop down the street for lunch. If there's like, my favorite is the like cheddar sour cream Ruffles Ridges. Take a bag of those, crumple them up a little bit, but on my slice of pizza, doesn't matter what kind of pizza it is, you just take it, pour it all over, and then if the slices are big enough, you curl it up like a little sandwich taco. And eat it.
That sounds good.
It's really good.
That sounds really good.
It's really good. Hard on your jaw,
Fascinating.
but worth it. It's good.
I'll have to try it
I
out.
recommend it. Especially like French fries. French fries on your pizza.
All right. If you didn't know, I already said it was a video game podcast, and I wasn't lying, and we're about to get to them. But did you also know, as it stated before the video, you can also find us on Discord. Join it, talk with us, play a game with us, suggest if you want us to hop into one of your games, maybe we'll do that. We're open to it. We've also got some other good videos coming up. Anthony's been pumping out some long plays. Check out the Astral Chain, the Link's Awakening. Did you put up any Indivisible yet?
Not yet. That's going to be going up soon.
Okay.
Invisible.
Sounds good. And then, yeah, we'll be putting up other stuff soon. Oh, and the card openings. Can't forget those.
Oh, yeah. Every Thursday. Right now we're going through Final Fantasy Opus 4, the TCG. So that'll be coming out Thursday. Second part.
Very good. All right, guys. Let's get into what we've been playing. Who wants to start us off?
Not everybody at the same time.
I've been playing Astral Chain. Still
Astral
working through
Chain,
that, and that's
yeah.
been really good. I started Indivisible, which is really nice. It's the art style is absolutely beautiful. It's by Lab Zero, the guys that made Skullgirls, and that was the biggest draw, at least to me, to go and play it.
So what type of genre is this game?
It's a mix between an action platformer and a turn-based RPG. So you explore the levels and everything. There's no real HUD. It's like kind of Metroid or Castlevania type maps. You just press up on the directional pad and she like looks up, but then it displays kind of the area map, and it's all in like little tile grids to show where you've been. And you go around that map. You kind of just keep progressing right. And until you hit an enemy, you can either attack them first or they'll attack you on the map, and that'll start your combat. And combat is displayed where you each get a button. Every character in your party, there's 4 characters max, are assigned to a face button. And depending on how many jewels you collect as to power up is how many actions each character gets per combat. And it's cool because it's not just like you can't just mash all the buttons. You could, but each character kind of works differently with each other. And there's like 20-something characters, I think, to choose from. I haven't seen...
That's a bunch.
Yeah, nearly all of them. And I know there's a couple cameos from other games. I think Shantae is actually a cameo in the game as a party member. There's a couple characters, or one character at least, from Skullgirls.
And Cameo? From Cameo?
Oh, yeah, Cameo is, yeah. That's what blew me away. I like that.
No, you're bullshitting me.
No, but I think it's either Cameo or... Oh, no, not Cameo. Does Shovel Knight? There's like a couple. There's Transistor, the main character from Transistor's in it.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
cool.
There's like, it's crazy, like the weird people they brought in. But actually, no, I did think... Did they do Cameo?
No, Cameo is like the Xbox 360.
Yeah, but no,
launch
that's
game.
what I thought they meant, like, because I could have sworn I
was just making
saw...
a little pun. But,
They might have.
Maybe. But
I wish they did. I don't think so. But I was like, oh, they might have. Because I remember seeing another character that was like, whoa, I didn't think they'd put him in, but I can't remember who it is. Is Shovel Knight too? Maybe. I don't know. There's a couple really cool surprises.
Nice. Shovel Knight's getting his shovel into everything.
Yeah, he is.
Guest character in a lot of places. So how's the story? It's an RPG.
It's pretty good. You start off classic, kind of like, oh, I'm the rambunctious young daughter of the destined hero, and I'm going to go train with my dad, who I don't have that good of a relationship with because we always butt heads. But oh no, tragedy happens, and now I got to go on an adventure to save the world.
That sounds all right.
That's pretty much just classic. I haven't gotten too far into it, but the story's pretty good so far.
All right, that is Indivisible. Currently available, I think, on PS4, PC, Xbox.
And Switch is coming out in December, I think.
December, which is a while. $40.
Yep.
From what I hear, I think it's like a 30-hour-ish game, so definitely pretty meaty. Cool. I've been hearing good things.
Yeah, I'm excited to play some more, let you guys know, and excited to show some more.
Nice.
Definitely. So I'm going to get some more Astral Chain done, and then been putting off Link for now. Okay, I got to go back to Link. I haven't played Link in a little bit.
So do you want to say anything about Astral Chain?
It's really good. I mean, it's the story. It's super, super heavy. The way that I've been at least trying to record it, it's weird because there'll be some like parts to chapters where it's like basically filler, like a filler episode. I know the newest part I recorded is kind of like a filler episode. You go back to base, they give you more training to do because you get your weapon upgraded, and then you follow this like cutesy little mascot dog character around. She gives you an official tour of the like base that you're in, and then you go on the actual mission, and that's like an hour and a half, 2 hours of just actual like meat, like story content, but it's like broken up by like, oh, chapter 1, chapter 2.
And so this is from Platinum Games, the developers of Nier Automata, which was another very story-heavy action and adventure game. Does it have that level of sort of, well, I guess I don't know if you got too far into that one, but how is it cinematic?
It's very cinematic, yes. But the controls, I feel like when comparing it to Nier Automata, it's definitely not as like freeform. Like, you know how you felt so loose and you could like you felt very fast, you could dodge quickly, you had very, very quick attacks. This one, your attacks really, you kind of feel like you're chained in a way because you have your other guy with you, but he's not always out, your Legion, or depending on what you have out, because you can get the 4 different types. But the movement for your character is a little slower. He's a little bit more sluggish. You definitely don't have that versatility you did in Nier. But it's a pretty good grounded combat system. You know, it focuses way more to like pay attention to enemy patterns, and there are more ways to react with different enemy attacks. Like you can send out your Legion, and some enemies will telegraph like a little like light red beam will be shooting out in the middle of you, like getting ready for an attack, and you can send your Legion around the beam, and the guy will shoot forward, and you can just grab him with your chain and then throw him back to stun him. So there's like little cues that you can look out for. But combat's great so far. It's hard to kind of split it up without just sitting down and kind of committing for like 2 hours to just...
Yeah, I mean, you're currently in the middle of 3 different Switch games. So
Yeah.
that's got to be a little bit overwhelming to like get far in one. But.
Yeah, but it's fun. I definitely glad I chose Astral Chain to kind of like be the meat and potatoes because it's got a lot of content, and you can actually change the color of your Legion. And I thought it was cool because one of the colors I unlocked is kind of an homage to. Have you guys seen Neon Genesis Evangelion?
No, you have now because you were like saying that you hadn't seen it a couple months ago.
I haven't seen it still, but the colors that you can do, one of the color combinations is like the Ava combinations, purple and green, like purple, green, and black. You can paint your Legion that, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah, that's been high on my to-do list.
Same.
Maybe I'll go home and watch it tonight.
They have it on Netflix.
They do. You can't download it though.
Yep, I know. It's a huge, there's all like a whole thing, and then people are upset because they changed the ending song to like most of the episodes because it was such an emotional impact. It was like Fly Me to the Moon or something like that, but they changed it because of copyright. They couldn't get the song anymore.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, so like all the diehard Neon Genesis fans were like, oh, it's like a worst version of watching it. Don't watch it.
The ending of anime musics can be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know how it always picks up in Fairy Tale?
Oh, yeah.
At the very end of the episode. I love that.
That's how Hunter x Hunter is too. Like the second or third like ending is just, it's great because it just starts to, and it just at the end it's like, will Gon get out of this situation? Will he be touched by the big predator clown man? Find out. And the music picks up and then it breaks down and then just ends. It's great.
He's great. All right, Kenny. So you and I have been playing a little game. You're just starting. I'm deep in. You had your first run at Slay the Spire, the deck building roguelike, which is free on Game Pass. What do you think?
Honestly, I was sitting at home and I was going through the Game Pass catalog, and I was like, I saw it and I'm like, Wiley's been talking about this game nonstop. He even picked it up for the Switch. It has to be good. Like, I'm gonna install this just to see why he's hooked. Installed it, started playing, and I was like, wow. I was like, if only we weren't recording, I'd still be playing. Like, because I like deck building games.
Hell yeah.
And the turn-based RPG, almost a turn-based element to it with the deck building, and I was like, wow, like, you know, like I was sitting there really thinking about my strategy, like how is my deck built? Like, what card do I want to pick next from the 3 options that I'm getting at the end of this battle? Like, I was really thinking about it, and I made a mistake in the second act, and I went really aggressive with my deck.
I mean, just picking all attack cards.
No, I was picking a card. So I picked up a skill, the skill where it gives you every time you use an armor card, right? You'll attack the opponent as well, but then you exhaust that armor card. Yeah. So that's what actually messed me up in that battle against the last boss.
Was it the giant knight guy?
The giant knight.
That guy is a bitch.
Because I actually whittled him down to 60 health.
Dang. And
lost because when it came down to it, he was gonna attack me twice for 24 damage, and I went into my deck to look for an armor card, and I was like, I just exhausted all my armor cards.
Damn.
And I have 1 armor card. That's it. And I was like, holy crap, like he's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
And I had no potions, nothing. So I was like, it ends here.
Yeah, and there's times where you'll be playing and you'll see, you know, it tells you how much damage they're gonna do. It'll be like 7 times 4. You're like, okay, that's 28 damage. You look through your cards, you're like, crap, I got 21 defense, and I have a perk that like makes it so I have 4 every turn, but that's still not enough. It's about to end.
Yep.
And it's a bummer. But I'm glad you liked it. I'll tell you a couple things that might be helpful going forward, and something that I didn't start applying until I played through several times, or at least attempted to, because I still have not beat the last boss.
I'm going to take notes.
You don't want to pick up every card, because you want to have a deck that is somewhat focused, and like you don't want one guide I was saying was that during Act 1 you should be focusing on getting offensive cards, and then in Act 2 you should be focusing on getting defensive cards, and then once you have like a solid foundation of 20 to like, or sometimes even like 17 to 23, 24 cards, you want to stop picking up more cards and exhausting cards every chance you get. At the shops, if you have enough money, you can pay either 75 or 100 gold to remove one of your starting defends or attacks, because those just end up taking up room and not doing as much benefit to you as they would have otherwise. Okay. Another thing is, if you can manage it, take on the elites early on, because if you end up dying to one in Act 1, at least you don't aren't dying in Act 2, and that way you're getting the valuable trinkets that they drop, like because they always drop one. The elites, they're the ones with the horns coming out. So that's a good thing to do. Other than, I mean, just pay attention to stuff like this card will benefit this card.
Synergy, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Which
Deck
is
synergy.
any deck building game, which is it's a new genre to me. And I will say that like I really wanted to get this one out of the way this morning because lately I've been feeling like I'm sort of playing too many different games, and I usually play a game, I beat it, I move on. That's just sort of my MO when I play games, and there'll be maybe a couple that I come back to as a games as a service like Destiny 2, which I'll talk about after this. But yeah, so I was really kind of discouraged this morning after I got to the last boss, after like a 2-hour run where I was really planning everything out. And I got to the last fight, and I just took my time every turn, only got him to like halfway down, and just had no shot. So it was not any sort of RNG or anything. I just had not a good enough deck. I had too many cards in my hand. There was things popping up like with wounds and status effects that were had built up over time, and yeah, just wasn't able to do the DPS or defend quick enough. And always look for the card Whirlwind. Whirlwind is the straight up best card for the Ironclad.
Okay.
And so it's what it does is it deals 5 damage X amount of times. X amount of times is all amount of energy that you have.
Yep.
Eventually you'll upgrade it to 8 damage per attack, and then you'll also have 4 or 5 energy, so you'll be doing like 28 to 35 damage to each enemy, which is really, really good. Like you can sometimes wipe out 3 enemies with just 1 attack, and that feels awesome.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I know that one of the cards I was in my first run through, like that really got me through a lot of the humps was the discovery card. That discovery card where it would let me pick 1 out of 3 cards, but then it would come and it would be added to my hand with 0 energy cost.
Yeah.
So that one really was like powering me through. Like, so whenever I can add that to my deck, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go with this discovery card, because that's like a trump card. I was going full on. I felt like Yu-Gi-Oh, like Trust the Heart of the cards in that one. I was in a bind. I'm like, discovery. It's gonna pull me through, and I'm like, yes, that's what I thought.
That's one of the best parts about playing card games is just the whim of like, oh, what's this top deck? Top deck, please.
Yep, top
Sometimes
deck.
it comes down to it.
I was like in some of those battles that I actually, like early on, like I was struggling in Act 2, and I had to like conserve my potions to raise my health. And I got to that boss also with no potions, with like not full health, but I was top decking to finish battles. I was like, all right, like, and I'm drawing, like this card lets me draw a card. All right, let's see what I get. I need to finish it with this draw. Draw, finish it. I'm like, oh, I almost died.
Yeah, right. But then when you beat an act, you get all your health back.
Yep.
Which is a big relief. So you can kind of start anew. Whenever you get to a rest site, you have the choice of either, which is probably every 3 or 4 moves, you get to either heal 30% of your HP or upgrade a card. And upgrading your cards are huge. Like if you want to have a really good deck, you'll have at least 60-70% upgraded cards once you get to the last boss. So there's a lot that goes into it. It's a roguelike, so everything is a little bit different. I do wish there was a little more enemy variety now that I've put in 20 hours ish. Like
so I got a question.
Yeah.
So at every fight in a run, your deck gets replenished. You're not like using cards or anything like that. Or?
So you'll have a draw pile and a discard pile, and it all goes back into your draw pile at the end of the fight.
Okay.
And then you also, after every single enemy you defeat, you get to choice of one of 3 cards to add to your deck, or you can skip it, which you want to start doing later once you're happy with your deck, unless it's like a really rare find.
Right. Yeah. So I think I was asking you earlier, is there like a minimum and like a maximum like deck size?
You wouldn't want to be at the minimum because you start with 12 and you definitely want a few more after that.
What happens if you run out of cards in a fight?
The discard pile just goes back in.
Yeah, it just.
I mean, I feel like though a lot of times for deck building games, sometimes it's like better to just like be at like more towards the minimum, whereas compared to the maximum number of cards, because the fewer cards you have, the more likely you are to draw like a really powerful, strong card.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe there probably is a 12 card or a 10 card,
Like
really
super
like
deck setup.
strategy.
Yeah, that would depend on really good drops and just some luck thrown in there, obviously.
That's what I liked about the quick format for like speed duels, like you use speed duels or duel links, because you play with like a 20 to 30 card deck.
But it takes discipline in order to not just pick up every card that seems good that you see. You're like, oh, that's better than my attacks and my defense, and
Because if you pick up a card, you have to put it in your deck.
Yeah, the moment you pick it, like from the 3 options, it goes straight to your deck, and then you gotta pay money to take it out of your take a card out of your
gotcha.
deck.
yeah.
Yeah. So I can see where Wiley's going with that, where you don't want to pick every card up. Like I took it, and like I didn't understand that concept, so I was adding cards, but I was being somewhat picky about it. So I was looking at the energy as well. So I was like, wow, I only got 3 energy most turns, so I don't want to pick up a card that's 3 energy. That's my whole turn, unless it's something really amazing. So there was a skill card that would every turn give me +2 strength, which ultimately would increase every single attack I did thereafter. But I understood that one I would only use if the enemy wasn't going to attack me. So I was like, okay, he's not going to attack me. So whatever he's going to do
Was that demon form?
Yep.
People say that's one of the best cards.
It is. And so
Yeah.
I found it to be really helpful. So I was like, I added it, and I was like, all right, perfect. I would use it in a timely manner. Like, I'm like, all right, perfect. This is the perfect time. It looks like they're gonna do maybe a spell, maybe make me vulnerable, make me weak to something. Let me add some strength. Every turn I'll get +2 strength. Let me use it now, and I could just defend them, block or attack next turn.
When it gives you the option to pick up a new card, does it also allow you to just like examine your current deck?
Yes.
At the same time? Okay, that's good. Because it really all just boils down to like synergy when deck games.
Yeah, and you can skip. You can skip and not choose one of the 3 cards.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's where I say my synergy got messed up. Like once I went towards that I was like, all right, I'm gonna go real offensive, and I was like with this one card that just exhausted. Because when you exhaust it, it's like
It's gone till the end of the fight.
yeah. So it's what is it? And
You can't reshuffle again.
Yep, you can't. It doesn't go back in like Wally's saying.
It's like Chain of Memories.
Yes.
Can't recharge.
And there's a bunch of cards, or there's several cards where it's like you do 9 damage, and you get to pick one up from your discard pile and put it at the top of your draw pile. So exhausted cards, you can't do that.
Yeah. But that one was like I know which one that one is. That's the headbutt one, or yep. So
That's a great one.
So that one I used a lot when I wanted, like I would use it. That's a 2 energy one. So I would use it to try and bring back a 1 energy block one to then block. So I'm like, I did decent damage, and I could maybe block an incoming attack. Give and take.
Yeah.
So I was doing like that. I was mixing it up a bit with my attacks and my defense as well.
All right, that's what's up.
Fine, I'll finally install it when I get home.
That's what that.
And I kind of wish there was like a competitive like roguelike like drafting card builder type of game.
Yeah, there's not
where-
really a roguelike, but I mean they have like the draft packs and stuff on that new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel game, or pretty much any
Yeah.
like Hearthstone has that like arena where you pretty much draft.
And there is
Yeah,
a daily climb single player thing in this, which I haven't done yet because I want to beat the damn game. But that is one of the competitive aspects.
Yeah, I think there's a leaderboard and high scores. You're going to get the high scores with your friends or globally. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
I saw it and I unlocked it after my first run. I'm like, huh.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
like,
excited to
I
check it
think,
out.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if it would like say if we all had it on Switch, we could all go through like
Yeah.
a dungeon and like at certain points we have to like wait and like fight each other and continue on.
You're talking about your own made up game now.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I've wanted to do a board games. Are pretty cool. I like if Ascension's kind of like that. You ever heard of Ascension, the deck building game?
Is it a real card game?
It's a real card
Okay.
game. Yeah, it's
No.
like a board-esque game, but it looks pretty cool. The art's sweet, but I've never played it, but it looks really cool. It's a deck building game. So it's something to look into if you like deck building games.
Nice.
So that was a good solid 10-15 minutes on Slay the Spire. Kenny and I are playing on Game Pass. As he mentioned, I like it so much I bought it on Switch so I could play it.
How much was it on Switch?
20. It's on sale for 20 now. Usually it's $24.99, which is a little steep, but I've definitely gotten the time out of it.
Can play while I poop. Instant sell for me.
So the other thing that I've been playing a good amount of this week is Destiny 2 Shadowkeep expansion. which is the new $35 standalone kind of big content drop for the year for Destiny. And you're returning to the moon, which is one of the central locations, planets from the first game. So there's some nostalgia there. The campaign is pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's as strong as Forsaken's was last year. Not quite as memorable from a story standpoint. There's also only one area as opposed to two. Last year we got the Dreaming City and the Tangled Shore, and the moon, while it is very cool, does not quite live up to the diversity and wealth of content that Forsaken dropped. But so earlier I played through the new Horde mode, which is kind of what they seem to be doing a lot of these days, just putting different tweaks on it. Activity called Vex Offensive. The Vex are kind of the main protagonists this time around. Once again, it takes place at the Black Garden, which, if you are familiar with Destiny 1, is one of the areas where the end game of the original campaign was. So it's a cool aesthetic. It's kind of got some emerald green and bright reds and like a futuristic overgrown pyramid type thing. A lot of the weapons and armors have the same aesthetic going on, which if you're playing this activity, you're getting a shit ton of. I literally played this mode for 2 hours today. I got the same scout rifle called Imperative, I want to say 6 times.
Wow. But can't you break that down into materials you can use for...
You can.
But it's just annoying to see the same.
It's just annoying to see.
That sucks.
And so like my weekly pinnacle gear, once I got 100% of the activities, was a 905. Mm-hmm. What did I say it was called?
Is the Pinnacle? No. I kept thinking of vodka when you said
rifle.
Pinnacle.
It's the scout
rifle.
Yeah,
scout
no,
rifle.
it's a scout rifle, and it's a good gun. But I mean, when it's dropping that much, it certainly doesn't feel special or anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. That's just kind of like, well, everybody's got one of these, I guess.
Yeah, and the mode itself is very impressive and fun. It adds a little bit of very light thinking outside the box for a matchmaking activity. You just have to essentially kill a certain amount of Vex within a time limit, and then it'll change up a little bit where you have to defeat 12 oracles. And oracles got introduced back in the Vault of Glass, the first raid in Destiny 1. So you defeat certain enemies. They drop these
orbs,
these things that make the game turn third person, and they're the only way that you can damage the oracles. And you have to do 6 of them, and then you have to kill 12 of them during the next phase. And the third, there's a pretty cool fight against the Gate Lord.
Oh, so when you get the sword, you like get the cool sword and you go third person, you're like, Ring.
It's the same concept, but it's a projectile like laser beam instead of a sword. And so I am having fun. I will say that the game, and a lot of people I know feel the same way that aren't on the daily grind or haven't been like me. It's overwhelming. Looking back on my quest log, I've got 40-something or maybe even 50-something quests that I'm, either at the very start of, at the very end of, somewhere in the middle. It's a little bit hard for me to figure out what I want to do, especially when I don't have a consistent group of people that I'm playing with. So I'm not like, oh, I'll just do whatever Jerry wants to do, and I'll level up my so-and-so. So I'm kind of making all the decisions on my own, and for better or for worse, the combat's still phenomenal. It's still the best shooting, I think, out there in a console game. I think that it's one of the most technically impressive games of all time, with all the amount of shit that's happening on screen. The fact that it's a seamless world with up to 6 players hopping in and out of these public events, and shit just gets so crazy, and the particle effects are out of this world. But as far as the excitement of the content and the drops that I'm getting, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag. Like I've liked some of the legendary guns and stuff that I'm getting from the quests on the moon. Going about getting them hasn't been the most exciting. It's been a little up and down, to be honest, my experience overall. But
is this which number content expansion is this now to Destiny 2?
So this is the beginning of the 3rd year. It's the second major expansion.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had they've changed up the economics a little bit. So when it first came out, they did what they did in the first game. They came out with Curse of Osiris and Warmind, and those were like $20 standalone, mostly story things where you beat it, and then it was sort of like, well, what now? Now I got a couple exotic quests. they're trying to space that out a little bit more, make it a little bit more of a live game. And so they drop the content with Shadowkeep on the moon, where there is sort of a somewhat of a contained story. They break it up a little bit by making you perform various activities throughout, so it takes you a little bit longer to beat it. You're not just going from story mission to story mission to story mission. It like forces you to go to the moon and kill 100 of this enemy and search this lost sector in order to progress, which, you know, I understand why they wanted to do it. It makes it so it's a little bit breaks it up a little bit more and makes it so you don't necessarily finish it in 2 or 3 nights. But yeah, if you're a fan of the game and you're just looking to get back into it, I think this is definitely no insult to players. I think that the base game, the base game is free now. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, wow.
And that comes with, I don't even want to go over it. Look it up. It comes with a good amount of stuff. The original Destiny 2 game, maybe like the Warmind and Curse of Osiris campaigns as well too, which that right there is a plethora of content. So yeah, it's a great game. I think the expansion is a bit of a mixed bag. There's a battle pass now akin to every other game ever. Where you are leveling up to level 100. Each level you get 2 tiers. One that's paid that comes with the Shadowkeep expansion. The other is free to all players. Get some cool stuff there. Nothing life-changing or game-changing, but some stuff that is like, oh, nice.
Do you get that with average player, or do you have to be in Crucible? Like player PvP?
You do it no matter what.
Oh, that's good.
Like, so everything you do,
that's cool.
You level that up. And certain things just, well, I should say bounties are what gets you XP. It's not just like every enemy you kill, but there are so many bounties and vendors now that you're always working towards something.
Neat.
Yeah. So that's Destiny 2. So you want to say, I know you just briefly played it, Kenny, but what's up with Ghost Recon Breakpoint, the latest Tom Clancy joint?
I'm so far positive. It's so I think a departure they had from Wildlands. I don't know if you guys play Wildlands at all.
I didn't know.
No. So in Wildlands, you know, you might have switched your guns, you know, but the rest of your gear was kind of untouched unless it was cosmetic, maybe a ghillie suit you'd pick up. But here it's all like gear scores. It's almost like it's like Wildlands meets Division. So
meets Destiny.
Like
Borderlands.
So meets Borderlands. It's all of it. So you know you have a gear score. You got to increase your gear score to take on, you know, so you could be at least, you know, somewhat doing damage against higher enemies. Like when you open up the map, it's like, recommended gear score is like 140 for a mission. And
so it's like leveling without saying it's leveling.
Well, you know, you level still.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
you level and you gain skill points for different things like reloading faster.
That's cool.
Some stealth stuff, carrying more ammo.
I don't know what it is about playing games that give you like a leveling system, no matter if it's like an RPG or a first-person shooter. As long as I'm gaining experience for doing the actions that I'm doing, I just feel accomplished. And I'd rather play those games over ones where it's just like, I can progress. Unless it's like a really gripping story, I'm just like, I need that XP. I need those levels.
I'm getting a little bored of the XP, but I hear you.
I just have to like trick myself into I'm accomplishing something.
Yeah. So far the story seems good. It's visually amazing. I already saw John Bernthal's character. Like you see his character right away, within the first 15 minutes of the game. You come into contact with him. He kills somebody, and it's real brutal. And you're like, holy shit, this is the
Punisher is here.
Oh, like he's out here.
So that's what's he from again? Walking Dead and
Walking Dead, The Punisher, and he was actually in Pain and Gain, the movie. He's been in a lot of things. He's a pretty good actor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So far it's not bad. Tried to take on a mission and I was just getting mowed down. Like the last mission I tried to take on, I was getting mowed down by helicopters. Like I was getting spotted every other minute, and I was like, "Holy fucking shit!"
Playing solo?
Yeah.
I hear that the game's real tough solo.
Yeah, it seems it.
Yeah.
So like, it discouraged me for a second.
Yeah, like
just because of like how tactical it is, and like having a team would distract other enemies or whatever from
Well-
your locations and stuff like that, right?
Not even that. It's having a team. You could coordinate taking the shots. Like if there's through 4 enemies and it's 4 of you guys, you could coordinate. All right, I got the one on the right. You got the middle one. You got the left. You got the furthest one to the left. And on 3, we're taking headshots. You know. Mm-hmm. Well, I played Wildlands, and that's how we went about it. Like, of course, occasionally you had the one person who had the horrible aim. So 3 out of 4 people went down with headshots, and the one guy's like, "Oh, it's shooting at us," and I'm like, "Who missed it?" And I'm looking out like, "Really, Raymond?" That was an easy shot.
And if I'm not mistaken, those games you had 3 AI combatants with you if you were playing solo, right?
Yep.
And this you were on your own, snake
on your
eater
own
style.
Yeah, so it's like I didn't even know how to throw up my drone, and even then I felt like all the drone is doing right now is like spotting people for me. So it's like, all right, I know where they are and I know where they're going walking, but I still got to take them out by myself. You know, the enemies aren't too tough, but still, like, you have different difficulty enemies rolling around as well. So the mission might be giving you enemies you can handle, but the caravan that just drove by might be OP.
It sounds like Far Cry. You're just trying to get something done. It's like, oh, I hit him with the blast ball.
So this was me. I was like it's like 8.5 kilometers away. Like, I'm like, holy shit, like, you know, I gotta get to this thing. So I'm like, all right, I'm in my motorbike going through hills and all that stuff. Helicopter. I'm like, shit. Like, all right, I'm like trying to evade this thing. Nope. I'm like, all right, I took that helicopter down. So I literally destroyed 2 helicopters before the 3rd one killed me. I'm like, I can't win right now. Like,
Maybe you need to go off and do some other stuff and level up a bit.
Maybe. I tried playing Ghost War, and people take this so serious. Like, I couldn't see where anybody was, before I got smacked by somebody. Like,
Is this what is
the
that?
Ghost War is the PvP.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
It
was in there.
It has it straight off the back in the Wildlands. It got introduced as DLC like later on into the stories, and later on into the game's like shelf life.
Yeah.
But it's right. They have launched Ghost Wars there, and it's good quality PvP. Like, you know, like you really have to be tactical about it. And which I'm not. You know?
I'm the same way. I don't have much patience. I'm just like
honestly, I'm just running through the grass, and I'm like,
most of my deaths in Borderlands or any kind of shooter, I'm just like, okay, let's get as close as you can, and then like be right in front of the guy and just shoot at him. I'm like, this isn't probably the best way to play the game, but it's fun.
Yeah, tossing grenades. Like, people already know where I am. I think I got spotted right away. Like,
yeah, you hit me with a head. My head hit me in the head with a hammer. Like, I can't even talk anymore. I don't know. Can't talk good. Head.
Oh yeah. So you just reminded me about Mortal Kombat 11 DLC.
When you hit me in the head with a hammer there too. Yeah,
oh no. So anything else you want to say about Breakpoint?
No, I actually still don't have much more to say.
I'm sorry I interrupted you with a hammer talk.
No,
that's
you're
my
good,
bad.
because you
It's
reminded
all
me
good.
of Arnold Schwarzenegger. T-800, the new DLC character.
Do you have to say his outfit was sick?
What?
His outfit?
His outfit.
I like it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did a good job with the model. I think the voice is...
Anybody could do it. You're right. Anybody can do this, like an impression of it. Be like, I'll be back for you.
But he does it really flatly, and I don't think that he's as accurate as...
No.
I've even heard some people in real life that I've met do Arnold impressions. So, I mean, that's a little disappointing. And I also feel like maybe with these characters, we should be getting a little bit more content, like a stage.
Like Smash Bros.
Yeah,
does
exactly. So because Smash Bros. Is spoiling me. You get like 10 new songs. You get the stage. You get spirits.
Did they announce?
You do get skins. Fair enough. Go ahead.
Did they announce when Terry's coming out yet? I don't know if that's like
No, not yet.
I don't know.
I just want to know who the next one is. I feel bad because I feel spoiled because now they're like, okay, we're gonna have one more guy, and then we're gonna have more DLC guys. I'm like, okay, fuck Terry. Who else is coming?
Yeah. So anyway, I think he's an all right character. I also had playing as Nighthawk for the first time, who I enjoy quite a bit more.
Okay.
He's sort of a grappler. It seems like he's got a couple good projectiles. I was having trouble figuring out what his juggle move is to get some combos going. He's definitely a pretty high DPS character. So we'll see if he becomes viable or not. But mixed bag on T-800 in my opinion.
He looks like a dad that showed up to like one of his son's friends' college parties to like, who's got the keg? The wife's not home for another 10 minutes. Give me a cup. This is my son, Arnold Jr. You girls better be nice to him. I was in movies, you know.
And actually, I haven't delved into this skin, so I don't know if you can play as 1984 Arnold or. Pretty sure there are like exoskeleton ones.
I was gonna say, I hope you get at least like the half face one.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they are there. So don't want to be too hard on NetherRealm. It's a great game. Maybe one of the best of the year.
Ooh, yeah, girl.
All right.
But speaking of shooters, I on a whim last night downloaded Call of Duty Mobile, which I one would never see myself downloading, and two didn't think it would be as fun as it is. Because it's just, I'm really good at it, one.
It's super easy.
It's very easy. They have like, the way the controls are a little awkward, but my roommate texted me. He's like, oh, my friends at work, we're playing it, so I'm doing it at work right now with a bunch of friends. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'll give it a shot. And it was entertaining. I'm not like big. I'm more like into the Destiny kind of like sci-fi or fantasy oriented kind of stuff. But this is just straight up like, we're Marines. Or
Yeah. It's like, was this what was used in the last mass shooting? Yeah, that.
Yeah, exactly. Just the guns are too real. Everything's too real.
Yeah.
But it's fun and it's quick, and surprisingly, unless you have a really shitty internet connection, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's super easy.
And that's the new mobile game where you're playing against other humans mostly, or
Yeah.
Why is it easy then?
That's what I said. I was like, there's no way.
There's bots in there too. Right?
There's gotta be bots.
Well,
it's just like Nintendo trying to pull the wool over your eyes with their multiplayer.
Yeah.
I think it's easy because technically, you don't have to really pull a trigger. You just have to get the reticle over
And then it'll
an
pretty much
enemy,
like
and it
auto.
auto
fires.
shoots. I heard that.
So pretty much, I was just sitting there, kind of just being like, "Oh, here you are." Just keeping it straight, not moving. I'm like, "He's dead." Oh, here you are. You're dead.
Yep.
Like just kind of like.
I even have it on advanced.
Some
too,
people
where
were
it's like
just
you
being.
shoot.
Some people were just like. Some people were pretty good. Like I was like, "Holy crap!" But I was like.
I was just surprised.
You're being super aggressive with an auto fire game.
Yeah.
Like I'm like you're running all over the place. I'm like I'm just walking, and I'm like
I'm mowing down people with a pistol. They're trying to come at me. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, this shouldn't be this easy. But I was like, oh, I guess I'm pretty good now. So.
Yeah, that won't translate at the end of the
No, it won't at all. I'll be like, where's the
using a
touch
joystick.
controls? Guys, do you have an adapter for my phone? Yeah, I'm pretty much MLG Call of Duty. I'm going to be at the next EVO.
That'll be related to one of our upcoming stories for our next segment, which we call
Cruising for
A newsin'.
Cruising for a Newsin', the part of the show where we get together some stories, put them on a page, read them back to you, and talk about it. First of all, that was a nice, meaty, what we've been playing, guys.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it was good. Some good back and forth there. But now, moving on to our first story, Fortnite ending. What?
It's all over.
So,
Womp womp.
I had been hearing from some kids that I know, that I work with, that like, so I hear Fortnite's ending soon. And some crazy shit's gonna happen, and they're like, it's just gonna be over. And I was like, yeah, that's not happening. Dude.
They make too much money. That's not going to end. Don't worry.
Like, that's just some rumor that some YouTuber started that like gained traction or something. But no, I'm gonna just read the story via IGN here. The event began off much like last season's. A timer appearing above the visitor's rocket at Dusty Depot reached 0, and the rocket began to hurtle off towards space. Much like the original Season 4 event, the rocket caused various rips in time and space, hurtling through the night sky. Before long, a multitude of rockets began appearing from the rifts and similarly careened around the map. After about a minute, all the rockets suddenly converged on one point where the frozen meteor would have fallen. A large burst of energy, not unlike the most recent unvaulting event, then began to throw every player up into the air. Players were thrown so high that they could see the entirety of the Season 10 map, before it appeared to collapse into the black hole you see above. At 11:24 a.m., approximately 1.4 million people were viewing Fortnite's official stream of the event, and that's just their official stream. Much more people watching other streams, which has been resting on an image of the black hole since the end of the event. The Fortnite Twitter account has also blacked out its profile picture. Epic Games have effectively shut down their billion-dollar franchise intentionally until further notice. A series of numbers have begun to appear around the black hole at seemingly irregular intervals. So far, we've spotted 11, 146, 15, and 62.
Hike.
There's no clear meaning on what the numbers of this mean, but they're certainly tied to Fortnite Chapter 2. The new map that Fortnite appears to be soon getting was previously leaked this week via the iOS App Store. The event drew more than 6 million concurrent viewers between Twitch and YouTube, according to industry analyst Rob Breslau. Enough people watched the event that Twitch had to momentarily shut down the service.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane.
Like the biggest, most viewed video game stream in history, video game event in history.
Yeah. Is a black hole.
Is a black hole, still getting millions of views. As of a few hours ago, I booted up this morning just so I could...
Is it still just black?
So
Still black.
Yeah, so when you first try, it's kind of cool because it sort of looks like the normal lobby screen, and then everything just starts getting all scattered and choppy, and it says like technical difficulties, experiencing error, and then it just sort of fades to black in a trippy way, and then fades into this black hole, and then this sort of soothing music that's sort of akin to like the PS4 menu music kicks in, and that's all that it is now. So as of, when was this, Tyler? Yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday.
So yesterday morning, this game that makes who knows how many thousands of dollars a day, millions of dollars a day, has just been offline. And
Making no money.
Making no money.
I want to see like video footage of kids that threw temper tantrums. Like how many kids had meltdowns like, I can't play Fortnite!
Yes.
Mom! Call Verizon! Did you pay the bill? Oh!
I want to see that too.
Oh my god, I love it. Like the Warcraft kid where he put the controller up his butt. It was fake. It was staged, but he was like, I put Warcraft kids my subscription. Remember that? That was like one of the first cringe videos. It's internet gold.
I don't think I saw that.
It's bad, but it's...
So I have $5 on the line with Tyler that we will not be getting season 11 and the new map until Thursday.
Until Thursday. So we're recording this on Monday due to some circumstances. The episode will go up on Wednesday.
24 hours after the episode goes up, we'll get season 11.
I highly doubt it.
7-11.
I think that's way too long for them to be
So
offline
what's
for.
your prediction, Tyler?
I think probably by midday tomorrow, Tuesday.
Yeah, that if I had to put money on it, that's what I would do. But Kenny though, he makes a good point. Like people are gonna start. It's gonna start being the front page of like newspapers. Like, where's Fortnite? What's happening? What are they thinking at Epic?
It's gonna have and then they keep on dropping more clues. And I was reading more into it. I guess these numbers, people are theorizing that it correlates with the antagonist of the. I didn't realize that the season even has a story.
There's a bad guy?
There's a storyline to this Fortnite seasons.
Wasn't Fortnite supposed to have like a single player mode too? And then they're like, Battle Royale.
The Save the World.
Yeah.
So the antagonists, and they were like theorizing that when you pick out the words via the numbers, it ends up making a sentence out something like, I am not the only one. There's others out there. You know,
Freddy Fazbear.
Something like that, because the antagonist supposedly is from outside the void, the map void, because I guess the map was in a time loop. So I was reading into it, wasn't understanding it. So I was like, okay, so if the numbers coincide with a message, we're gonna get more cryptic messages. It's gonna just keep building it up for the hype train to season 11 for this new map, for the next part of the story.
And some gameplay changes is what I hear too.
Yeah, so they're gonna introduce some new things. I think also Thursday we'll finally get Save the World for free, because I guess Save the World was still purchasable.
Oh really?
So I think Thursday it'll be a big drop. It'll be.
I mean, yeah, I am hoping that
I would say either Tuesday or
the new
Thursday.
drop, they are gonna officially announce that it's no longer in beta. That's just
at this point they better be. I remember even seeing like when it was first coming out, like when we were first doing Level with you, like 2 years ago, be like, "Oh guys, this game that's coming out called Fortnite, the aesthetic looks really cool. Don't know what it's about."
We should go back and watch that clip. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a bunch of game theories already out there too. I'm sure MatPat's already on it.
That's an exciting idea, though. I hadn't heard that people are thinking that Save the World, so the game would have a proper campaign. So I would play that.
Yeah, it'll be free starting season 11. So Thursday, it'll be new map, new features. Save the World's gonna be free.
It's just a hypothesis.
Yes. This is just my theory.
Yeah.
I'm going with what I've read on the internet. I don't take credit for all of these things. I'm just putting
Kenny
together.
is in no way associated with Fortnite or any release with the Epic Game Store.
But Epic, if I get it right, man, just give us a shout out. You know,
Yeah, please.
We could use it. Come
share,
on,
share,
Epic.
share the episode.
Send me a cool. What are they?
Put it on
What do
your
you have in that
official
game?
Twitter.
Send us a cool, like, I don't know, foam pickaxe or diamond armor. That's what they have in that game, right?
Or a donkey skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send us all that cool.
The
The creeper
what
skins.
was it? The,
DJ Yonder.
what was the first thing? Like, what was it? Like, people hiding in bushes. They're like, send us a bush.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a bush.
I can give you, but I can't show it on camera, but I can send you one.
But yeah, I think this is just like such marketing genius
No,
by
yeah.
Epic.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a Fortnite fan, but even like I'm like very interested as to like what is happening.
Yeah, I mean,
Even hearing the news, I do want to play it again now because I played it again, or I played it last summer for a bit and it was fun. But
it's hard to find somebody that hasn't played it. So
Yeah.
even if you had just, I've probably played 10 hours total across all the seasons
about
or
the
so. And I've had some fun with it for sure. So everybody feels like they've had at least some part of this phenomenon that's been going on, and just having everybody talk about this one moment, I think, is driving the conversation in such a way that everybody wants to jump back in. At least that's what I'm picking up.
maybe the answer is Mementos. Guys, we have to go to Mementos to see what's really going on in this collective subconscious.
Joker's coming to Fortnite.
Oh my god, it wouldn't surprise me. They already did a Thanos crossover, didn't they?
Yep.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
they've done a
Batman.
They've
Batman.
done the crossover for everything.
And there's a Borderlands thing apparently.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Yep, there was.
Yep.
There isn't because it's
man.
the end. It's gone.
It's gone.
Looking cool, Joker.
So I guess we'll find out. We'll tweet it out
Thursday.
or post on our Facebook when whoever wins the bet.
Yeah. I want to say Wednesday. I'm gonna go in the middle.
And also, if you want to play, once it does get opened, just hit us up in the Discord and we'll hop in there with
Yeah,
you.
schedule it. You know, we're active in there. I think I've been playing Siege.
You've been on Gears.
I've played Siege with one of our Discord members here and there. So we are playing with people. So
Somebody
jump in
teach
there.
me how to
Wayla.
build good.
Yeah, same. I can't build for shit. I'm just like, oh, let's go down there.
That's one thing I can't do. I can't build.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the building is what throws me off.
You
It's
gotta
just like a battle royale.
practice. You
That's
gotta
true.
practice.
Pretty much just the walls for shields.
All right. So last week we skipped over something that was just kind of recent events, and it's been sort of a pile-on of bullshit and lack of communication and anger ever since. And this is what's been going on with Blizzard regarding pro Hearthstone player Blitzchung, as well as a couple casters. So brief summary of what happened. There was a Hearthstone event going down. There was a post-game interview with one of the victors who goes by Blitzchung, who there's some difficulties with what the exact translations were or what the casters said. Some were saying that they sort of prompted him to say something like they knew what he was about to say because they said something like, all right, say the 6 words or the 8 words or whatever it was. And so he ended up saying, free Hong Kong, revolution of our times, something akin to that. He was quickly cut off. Blizzard swiftly announced that they were taking away his prize money, several $1,000s. They were also going to ban him from the competitive scene for a year. And same thing that goes for the casters. This created a lot of outrage. A lot of people saying, Blizzard's just bowing down to China because they have so much business interest in there. It's a huge market. A lot of Blizzard games have a particularly large audience over there. So yeah, what were your guys' initial thoughts on this? I want to get your
I felt
opinion.
pretty dumb when I first was like, I kind of like breezed through the article or like didn't really have much knowledge of really what was going on. And I was talking to you guys on Saturday. I was like, who is harassing? Because I thought that the casters were harassing the guy, and that's why he said it. And then he got in trouble because they provoked him to say something. But I don't think I really understood it because the way that I'm perceiving it, that I see it now, is that they were just like, interviewing him, and he's just like, yeah, I won, and then he wanted to say what he wanted to say. And then since it was like Blizzard's like so supported by China, and it's like is there a thing going on in China right now where it's very
Yes. So
Okay.
like there's daily protests happening in Hong Kong that they want to stop being interfered with the Chinese government.
Mm-hmm.
They want they're completely against all the
communism stuff.
well, it's a complicated situation that I don't want to pretend like I'm an expert at.
I have no clue
Yeah.
about anything ever aside from hentai and like maybe the occasional game. So don't worry.
So I know that part of some of the stuff started off with the extradition law. So they wanted to allow extradition from some of these, independent
What's
islands.
extradition mean?
Like that they'd be able to, if they arrested somebody, they'd be able to bring them into mainland China.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of tension started growing from there, and then they were trying to put on more laws and rules onto main Hong Kong, because Hong Kong almost like works under its own like different like laws. Not completely, they still have almost the same exact
I've been
rules and
meaning to
laws,
get this
laws as
figured
China,
out.
but they have some freedoms that they work under.
Yeah.
So it's like their own jurisdiction in a way.
Their own jurisdiction. So it was almost like China was like, no, we're gonna reel you in, and they're like, yeah, no, this isn't happening, and we're not gonna be okay with it. So I haven't really read every topic that has built up the protests and has turned the protests into violent protests, because it has reached that point where they have become violent. But it's insane. It's insane what's happening over there, and Blizzard handled it horribly.
Yeah, so they actually took days to come out with a statement, and this was it was very people like in droves canceling their Blizzard accounts, deciding to leave the Hearthstone community, just an all-around terrible look for them. And I don't want to read the whole statement because it would take me several minutes, but let's see. This is the quote that I took from their president, J. Allen Brack, who's been with Blizzard since 1999. And this is in his justification for the ban that they took out on Blitzchung as well as the casters. Playing fair also includes appropriate pre- and post-match conduct, especially when a player accepts recognition for winning in a broadcast. When we think about the suspension, 6 months for Blitzchung is more appropriate, after which time he can compete in the Hearthstone Pro Circuit again if he so chooses. There is a consequence for taking the conversation away from the purpose of the event and disrupting or derailing the broadcast. With regard to the casters, remember their purpose is to keep the event focused on the tournament. That didn't happen here, and we were setting their suspension to 6 months as well. Moving forward, we will continue to apply tournament rules to ensure our official broadcasts remain focused on the game and are not a platform for divisive social or political views.
I think they're kind of making it that way in the whole thing, like inadvertently.
So I actually should have read the beginning of the statement too, because where it starts off is he's really saying stuff like
talking about their mission statement and like how they support people to have like free speech and views and a place for people to experience and things like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So then they go back on that saying, they also say in the statement, our relationship with China doesn't have anything to do with it. And it just comes off as very disingenuous. It's like you're trying to save face by reducing the amount of
hate that they're getting.
Yeah, and I was trying to say was the amount of he got his winnings after all, and he was only banned for 6 months instead of a year, which of course would just seem super ridiculous. But they're also, also saying, well, look, we had a point, and if this person was advocating for something like, other than like freedom and I wish I knew the situation a little bit better in China, then I could speak a little bit better towards it. But essentially, it's something that most people are on board with, I think, around the world. They are on the side of the protesters, and I don't really.
I'm in the same boat. I wish I knew.
Yeah,
I haven't really.
But I'm for free speech, and I'm definitely thinking that this is against that. And I know that has limits.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, but I think that they, especially for waiting so long, fucked up bad. I think that the fact that they were so severe was a bad mistake.
It's a very thin rope to walk.
Yeah, and
I think they overreacted. On my bad, Tyler. I think they overreacted, and then they sat back and were like, "Shit, like, what the fuck did we just do? Like, you know?
Yeah.
And then, like, really got their PR team together and we're like, how can we bounce back from this? Like, we didn't just slap him in the hand. Like, we came down with the hammer on him and the casters, and now we look like, we
Look
don't
like
care.
China's bitch.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this half-assed, statement, like, it really was like trying to teeter-totter on both lines.
Yeah. It's like every PR person just like contributed one sentence.
Yeah.
And
It was like a team
they
of 12.
they threw it. Yeah.
All right,
they-
you go, then I'll go.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we'll put it in a glass jar.
We'll mix it up. We'll pull out the statements.
Yeah, and then we'll go in order that way.
They
They
just
all-
definitely come off
Yeah.
as more of a business that cares about the revenue rather than the consumers and their player base.
I mean, typical businesses.
Exactly.
Most of around the world.
It just sucks because at the end of the day, you have to remember they are a business, but I mean, they should also be, with putting out statements like this, they want to show that or want to seem like they have a show of like, we care about everybody, free speech and all that. But at the end of the day, what's going to be making the money for them?
It also just makes you worry about China and Russia more.
I know, and I don't want to veer off away from the games. I know we talked through in our group chat. Like, remember you sent the article, and I mentioned why I lost interest in the article with the NBA. Like, they're going through their own thing with the China thing. The general manager of the Houston Rockets tweeted out a statement. The owner of the Houston Rockets kind of came down with a hammer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But the NBA commissioner, who's the top dog at the NBA, as they're canceling NBA events in China, he still is going, well, the NBA doesn't take a political stand, but we will not apologize for his tweet because because I am all for every person's freedom of speech. So he came out, even though they're in the midst of them canceling things. They're canceling events for players to meet and greet fans. They almost canceled the preseason game out there. He's still not. They want him to be like condemned. That tweet, and he's like, no, we're not going to apologize for it.
Yeah, so at least Adam Silver came out and apparently did the right thing. There was the original GM of the Rockets who...
he sent out the tweet, and then the owner of the Rockets, something for Teta, and he came out and was like, yeah, no, he doesn't represent what we as an organization stand for, and he did a full blizzard. He condemned it. Most likely told him like, you need to delete this.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Like, we had Yao Ming on our team, right?
Exactly.
He's like Michael Jordan over there, right?
Exactly. He most likely was like,
Look at how tall he is.
China is one of our biggest revenues. What are you doing? Because it is true. The Houston Rockets is the biggest team in China.
Are they?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he had a freak out, but I'm glad that the rest of the NBA was like, yeah, no, like, we're behind the GM. Like, he didn't do anything wrong. Like, his freedom of speech, and
Joe Rocket.
Let's see.
we can move on.
Yeah, let's move on. It'll be a developing story. Does not seem like it's going away as much as Blizzard would like it to, and especially with BlizzCon coming out in 2 weeks,
Ooh, yeah.
which is their yearly convention with thousands of fans.
We'll see how. I wouldn't be surprised if something happens there.
Yeah,
Like
let's
some
hope.
kind of protest. I mean, I hope it's not anything bad, but like a protest or something.
Yeah.
I
Maybe.
really no call for any other violence.
Well, maybe so you'll get a lot of people who will attend BlizzCon wearing the same masks as the
as the
protesters.
Blitzchung dude.
Because the Blitzchung dude was wearing the mask as the protesters in Hong Kong were.
Okay.
So he was wearing the similar mask. So I'm surprised that they didn't see it coming.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's confusing to me too. Is like, why allow him to like wear the mask or
Yeah.
something like that? And
You didn't think that was going
then-
to end result?
Because I mean, in my opinion, I think if you become a champion and you're given the platform to kind of like say what you believe in and
And you're
say
gonna
like
say
why
it.
you're doing like kind of like what you're doing.
Maybe that
and,
even pushed him to win.
that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Maybe that was his whole reason for winning. Maybe that was his whole motivation for the whole tournament.
Yeah, if
He
that
has his
if
drive.
that is the case, and you want to be able to say something about
should
it
say
at
it.
the end.
Yeah, right. It's not like we're gonna forget about Hearthstone or anything.
Yeah.
Hearthstone,
Hearthstone, but
as long as you're, whatever. We can move on. Let's move on. So the next story, this is sort of more akin to my interests. It's much less of a thing that it's sort of just a little bit of bubblegum in with your main course, which doesn't sound great. So this is just a little thing, Destiny 2. I am a big time player of this game, somewhat.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. So there's a walkway that doesn't lead anywhere yet, and players are only starting to speculate where it's going to lead. So this is in the tower, which is the main hub area of Destiny 2, as well as Destiny 1. There's some mysterious stuff going about. I don't have any theories, but I do like that they're sort of tantalizing the player, making it so even if they're not playing consistently, they want to check back and see what's going on.
Get the daily players in.
But yeah, this is when I was searching for stories, and it's something that maybe I shouldn't have put in because it's just interest to me.
No, I mean, it's interesting.
It's not a Destiny podcast, but
it's like the Fortnite thing. I feel like a bunch of companies now or games are going to start piggybacking on that because they're like, oh my, look how successful Epic was doing this, so we should do something like mysterious. And that's just like that a little thing. I don't know if I've told you guys about this, but have you guys seen anything on Enchanted Portals or Enchanting Portals? This game coming out that's pretty much a Cuphead
I have
like
seen
the
that.
knockoff, but it's the same thing. It's almost animated in that same style, not hand drawn, but it's digital, like 1940s
No, it's a
Rubber Hose
Cuphead
cartoon.
knockoff.
It's pretty much a Cuphead knockoff,
It
but
is Cuphead, but looks worse.
what I don't get is that because it's with two wizards and you like little kid wizards that shoot out of their wands. Like when Cuphead, you shoot out your fingers. But like, why do that when Cuphead just came out? It's not like Cuphead has been dead, like a dead franchise for years, and it's like, oh, it's a spiritual successor. Cuphead was released like 2 years ago,
And
4 years ago.
And we technically have the DLC.
Yeah, still coming out.
At some point in time.
at some point.
Yeah, it's a really
I definitely recommend checking out the trailer.
weird time for it to come out. But
Yeah.
like the art style.
'Cause it's all
and
original characters.
How did this come about? I'm sorry, but like you said, it was mysterious in some way.
It was just because out of nowhere, it was like, oh, wow. I saw just a YouTube thumbnail for it. I was like, well, that's weird. And I checked it out. And there's some guy talking about how this game, because it looks almost pretty much exactly like Cuphead, but it's not. It's Cuphead, but it's not. It's just like
But
a
it is.
reskinned Cuphead, but it's the same, literally the same mechanics. Like you're doing the same thing, but it's just different characters and original designs and stuff, but it's the same thing. It's Cuphead, but it's not. It's confusing.
Maybe there's leveling up. Then you'll be all
That's
about
it. Then I'll be in it.
It is like really weird though because
Yeah.
it is like the pea shooter like thing that you start off with. That's an exact same move in this new Enchanted Portal.
Except
game.
you're just doing this with your magic wand.
Yeah, and then like the boss, like it's all in the same art style, animation style that Cuphead's in, and it's just like it was kind of like cringy to watch.
It's really weird.
This is awkward.
Yeah, it was really. It just, I don't know, like, well, I just want to know their thought process behind it. It's like, are they just trying to make a Cuphead knockoff, or are they like, what are they trying to do? Because
And what is it
it's,
called?
Enchanted Portals or Enchanting Portals?
Yeah, Enchanted Portals. I
Enchanted
think.
Portals.
Okay, I love
Definitely
how
check
this,
it out.
This
It's
news
weird.
just became a whole nother story, and it's better for it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird.
Well, I
highly
think
recommend checking
I
out.
could see where the segue was, because Destiny 2 was kind of piggybacking off of Epic's idea of doing things in the background and
I just like it
which
as a
it's
new
not-
story. I like it as a new story
Yeah.
better. Get rid of the segue. There was no segue. It was
there
just a new
was.
story.
Yeah, this
I
is
can't
just a
afford a
separate news
Segway.
story.
It's too expensive.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so what we got next, Wiley?
Next up, we got just another little fun thing. If you're a fan of crypto the
Cryptocurrency. Buy now. Buy low, sell high. Mario.com brothers. Play
Cadence-
Mario Brothers. Sorry.
Cadence of Hyrule, Crypto the Necrodancer. He just came out with a Super Mario Maker 2 level. It's called Cadence of Mario. So if you put out the Google search for that, you can play a pretty sweet new Super Mario level. Yeah, I always like seeing these indie developers putting their own spin on things, using the tools. And yeah, that's another
Being original.
live service game,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak, that I've been going back to from time to time.
They put multiplayer in yet?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
they did.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, why haven't we had the Let's Plays of Wiley trying all these different maps, like created by other people? Like,
You
I
got
don't
Mario
know.
Maker 2 maps. Send them
I
our
don't know.
way.
Put
like
me on blast.
every single time I hear like Super Mario Maker 2, I'm like, why isn't Wiley making the video?
Because I don't want to be on the screen getting mad at the game.
No, your shit is great.
Yeah.
I'll be
Gold.
Wiley's body double, like pretending like I'm playing.
Is it our final story? I think it might be. So this is a story about Apple and Microsoft, two long-time rivals, getting together to sell the Xbox controller on Apple.com. iOS, the newest update, iOS 13, enabled PS4 and Xbox controllers to be sold and be compatible with games released on the Apple Arcade, which is their new $4.99 service. So you could pair your Xbox or PS4 controller and play with your phone.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it is just kind of crazy that there's a Microsoft product on Apple.com. But as this quote says here, I think it is, and this is via gamesindustry.biz, a shrewd move on Microsoft's part as it builds up to launching its streaming service Project xCloud, something the platform holder hopes to deliver through multiple devices, not just PCs and Xbox consoles. Xbox Phil Spencer has also said he wants to bring Xbox Game Pass to every device.
Ooh.
So yeah, I mean, I just want it to be the when you think of a controller, no matter what you're playing on, it's an Xbox controller. I mean, it's
Could even be your phone.
yeah, definitely. So just Microsoft getting in all the different avenues they can, as has been the trend over the past few years, ever since Phil Spencer's taken over.
Yeah. Hey, it's not a bad strategy. Getting as much as you can if you have your product and, every kind of asset or facet out there.
Yeah, I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, I think once I get my PC back up and running, I'll probably get Game Pass on PC.
There you go.
We'll be able to play together. How
Yep,
lovely.
that's the idea.
And we can kiss.
I'll be
All
like,
right.
"Oh, Tyler's online."
I don't think I'll get an Xbox or even like the next generation Xbox, but I think having Game Pass is still like a good alternative because there are just so many awesome games on Game Pass.
There's a lot of really good games on Game Pass.
Yeah, true that.
I got to renew.
I'm always installing something.
I'm good till 2022. Same with Kenny, right?
No, not that far as you,
No?
but I'm up there.
All right, so now we're going to go over the upcoming games coming out this week. A lot of Switch stuff. We got Overwatch Switch Edition.
I wonder how bad that'll tank now after everything.
I
It's just
wonder. I wonder. I mean, it's going to be going down a little bit. Another big game coming to Switch, Witcher 3.
Switcher 3.
Yeah, Witcher 3. Crazy. One of the biggest games of all time, being able to fit on that little tiny little cartridge. Little Town Hero, the new game from Game Freak, releasing on 10/16, which, this must have been just like a little passion project for them because it's getting really no
Like pipe or really just
anything.
kinda
It's like Pokemon is coming out next month,
Yeah.
and it's so I find it a little bit of an interesting anomaly.
I kind of like that because since it's a smaller IP, it's a brand new IP actually. That whereas like Pokemon's like the above and beyond IP where they can push it. But like if this comes out and this is also like a big hit, then for sequels or any more content down the line, then they can just be like over the top with it.
Like you think that they would be saying stuff like from the creators of Pokemon comes a
Exactly.
brand new RPG.
It's interesting. I'm glad. I mean, it's kind of cool that they're not doing that. I mean, in the Nintendo Directs, I've seen that it's like from the creators of Game Freak, and then, but like, I mean,
Fair
then again,
enough.
it's also cool if they don't want to associate it with it because they don't want people going into it under the preset mind of
Yep.
like, oh, this is Pokemon. Why isn't this Pokemon?
Yeah, true that. Yeah, I guess I can see both sides there. Music in that game composed by Toby Fox of Undertale.
Oh,
who
God,
did
it's
like
gonna
everything
be-
in Undertale.
Everything's gonna be a banger. Oh, it's gonna be such a good soundtrack.
I know.
Frick.
And then a few days later, on the 18th, we've got Ring Fit Adventure.
Who's gonna get it?
This
I don't
guy.
know, we got
I think I'm gonna pick it up by the end of the month.
Oh yeah.
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 Hell yeah. I can't wait to drop porn of her.
I was
Dang.
thinking fully Let's Play.
Cancel the
No.
gym membership.
Yeah.
Like every Ring Fit Adventure.
So that's the exercise game that we talked about a couple weeks ago for Switch. And then coming to PS4 and Xbox and probably PC, Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, which is their PvP squad-based cartoony shooter, which now that Fortnite's offline, maybe it'll do okay. I don't know.
They picked the right time.
Yeah, it'll probably be back by the time.
Yeah.
I wonder, I think Apex is probably like, thank you, Fortnite. We just launched season 3 and people are addicted to battle royales. Where are they going to go? They're going to come to us.
We're the only ones that have the
Yeah.
goods.
Yeah, I saw a meme of somebody like zooming into the Fortnite black hole. The closer you got, the clearer Apex Legends appeared inside the black hole.
Yeah.
I want to check that out now.
I'm sure that it's not going to hurt them too much. But yeah, no, it'll end up helping in the long run. I think this is going to be big. We'll talk about it next week on the Level With You show. Thanks for tuning in.